Hi. I'm just faffing around for a minute or two, and then we'll start. Is the audio all right? I've got the window open. Because it's hot. Don't know how long I'll be streaming for. I'm good, thanks, buddy. I'm gonna run downstairs and grab a drink. If people would like to ask a question about preferably something Star Citizen related, but it can be me related or channel related or anything like that. Board game related, I suppose, as well. Avid board gamer, quite literally. Then chuck question in brackets and then put it up here. I've just sort of randomly started streaming without. Normally I announce it like an hour before, but I haven't done that this time. So might have mods turn up, but it's possible we won't. But it's fine. I'm here. It'll be fine. Post on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, before I go. Hey, I am alive. Bounced. Say hi. And wow. What? Right, I'll be about 1 minute and then we'll start. Maybe a minute and a half. Oh! I think I'm ready. Let's lower the music slightly. You can see my beautiful face. Hi, I'm BoredGamer. Hope you are doing well. I've been playing a load of board games over the weekend. Soon came around with her best mate and one of our mates, Cameron, played some ISS Vanguard, Slay the Spire, stuff like that. Yeah, it was a chill weekend. Stag do coming up. A real stag do. It's like a friend reunion that we call a stag do. A replication of a stag do we did like 10, 15 years ago. God, I'm old. Alpha 4.3. That's ploughing on ahead. There's a few things we can talk about with that. I'll address them a few times throughout, but I'll sort of give a bit of a summary. We've got an extension of 4.2.1's event into 4.3. Probably for the whole of 4.3, we're going to have the resource trove. So that's going to make a lot of people happy. Might make some people sad, but make a lot of people happy. And there's a load of additional fixes in 4.3 for some of the resource drive stuff as well, beyond what they've already hotfixed. Hopefully, the freight elevators will be significantly better in 4.3. I mean, they have improved them, but some of the yeah, they're not great. Right, like there are lots of minor fixes they made, but there were sort of more major ones, or a couple of major ones are still there, still causing issues. So hopefully they'll be able to plow through that and get it into a good state. Other stuff we're sort of waiting on. Engineering. CIG literally said in the recent roadmap that engineering has been moved to like the staging area for the tech preview, and we know that Eva Carney may or may not be testing some stuff out this week. Probably not for engineering, but for some other stuff that's tech related and that's jazz. That sort of stuff happens from time to time. Whatever. It's also possible we'll see tech preview stuff in the not too distant future for things like crafting, some superficial level of crafting at the very least, and what else? Something else. Crafting, hacking as well. Hacking is gameplay, not as a cheat. So some cool stuff happening there. We know that the Kraken's got like a little medical facility now. We know that they've almost finished the Apollo and Perseus. Probably going to turn up during the IAE, but we don't 100% know. We've got the new ship that CIG have been going off. I can bring it up here. So lots and lots of sort of sneak peeks at this, which is the new Kruger Intergalactic light fighter. Do I have something I can show you? Desktop. So I'd say spoilers, but I mean it's in the 4.3 build on the splash screen on the loading screen. Let me drag you here. So Kruger reveals L21 Wolf. That's your light fighter. See more of the actual splash screen if you want. No, that's not that on there. That might actually be easier to see it. And even in the in-game lore, they've gone, the resource drive is extended. So really like that. I like stuff when it's reflected in lore as well as the gamified systems and out of game. It's just all of it together. Sort of makes sense. Like unification, and that's what they're trying to do with Star Citizen. Right? One of the major. A lot of people have asked, talk about this quite regularly about Star Citizen doing events and alpha and that sort of stuff and work that's lost. I don't really mind much about the events and that sort of stuff CIG are doing now. I'm going to play a lot more when 1.0 comes out, like a lot more. I like Star Citizen now. I enjoy playing it, but I would play it even if it was just tech demo, improvements, updates every month with no events linking it together. I understand why they're doing that, and a huge amount of the people that are playing now are playing for that reason, or that they find that enjoyable. And just I'm very much more tech and feature driven, or content that's going to be used across the board, as it were. So content's obviously just as important as features, in my opinion, because it's just expanding out of features, right? Or making use of those features better. Yeah, I just thought I saw that. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all okay. Talk a little bit about the ship showdown as well. Microstar is my favourite ship. Love it. Show you this chart. This chart has the current standings for ships before phase 2 of the ship showdown. So basically there's a variety of divisions from industrial to combat, 8 different divisions in fact, and 2 ships from each division will start on the board for each division going head to head 1v1, and then it gets all the way whittled down to 1 ship after 16 from here, then 8, then 4, then 2, then 1. It's they've been updating us with the standings of how much noise is being made out of these ships and how much much people are using them in game, and they haven't changed since the last time they gave us a bit of an update on the 5th of August, and then again on the 8th or 9th of August, and the standings basically stay the same. If not, the top 2 in each category have actually increased their lead. That's likely going to be the top 16 ships we kind of know now, like with the Vulture and the Mole being in the industrial category, and the Polaris and Hornet Mark II being in the combat category, for example. But stuff could change, likely. No Idris, it's not eligible, but they will be selling it. CIG are kind, like very kind of them. Thanks, CIG. You're the best. Not really against their mostly not against their monetization practices. I've just sort of got used to it. It's the reason the game is what it is today, and you might hate that or you might love it, but I think it's going to work for them. I think we're going to have a great game/games because of it. Hello. Yes, so I'd say spoilers. We're going to be talking about the new Kruger Intergalactic Light Fighter, its name, and all that sort of all the stuff. Throughout. So yeah, so the Kruger Intergalactic L21 Wolf looks really cool. It's probably going to be a very compact light fighter, and I'm looking forward to it. I like light fighters. I'm a big fan of the Arrow. If it replaces my love for the Arrow, great. So, cool. I'm fighters I sort of fly at the moment are Cutlass for allowing you to do a bit of everything purposes, but really I fly the F8. That's sort of my favourite. I really like the F7 Mark II. Yeah, I'm pretty happy for it. Hello. I appreciate mod study up. I'm sorry, I just sort of randomly started the stream without even really announcing it this time. I didn't know if I was going today. I feel so. I'm just super busy at the moment. It's interesting. So this is the time of year. I always think it's going to be January or February or whatever. It's going to be like the quietest time of the year for YouTube stuff. It's not. It's between sort of June and September. A big lull in YouTube views, in stuff happening with Star Citizen. Although not so much with not as much with the monthly patches. Although there's a bit of lull in numbers, I would say. But it's a mixture of there's that going on. Sort of get less money from YouTube. There's less views on YouTube as well, and I'm super busy with just other commitments and things happening, and that sort of happens just every year. I'm bad at organising. I've got people's birthdays to sort out. So I've got to go on a stag do. I've got a cat sit. Are you building a new PC specifically for Squadron 42? I plan to. So, I might update my graphics card. But I might just be fine with it. I mean, I get pretty good frame rates to Star Citizen right now. Squadron 42 is likely to be significantly more optimized. I'm not going to play on anything higher than 1440p or 4K. I'll probably go 1440p just because I want sustained really high frame rate. Could go 4K and get maybe. I'll think about a new graphics card. I don't need anything more than that. I don't think. I'm pretty thrifty as a person. Even if I could crowdsource it from donations, I'd be like, I'd like to be sensible with money. But yeah, I suspect a load of people are going to build Squadron 42 specific PCs, right? And have been waiting to upgrade or do a big upgrade then. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Someone wants to chuck me $1,000 for a new graphics card. I'm not going to say no. Thanks. Maybe we'll both get AMD or Nvidia or some form of sponsorship for it. I'm hoping that we get some good Vulkan sort of updates as well soon. Because I use Vulkan in game now, and I have great time because of that. Sin was using Vulkan and had very low frame rates. I think that just 4.3 she had very low frame rates. It is I'm using a 9070 XT and she's using a 3080. So do you think both Ironclads will come out together? I think they're very different ships, and I am expecting the standard Ironclad, not the Assault, to come out first. Although, in the monthly report, they talked about them and they said that the Ironclad Assault is now making its way through White Box. It's possible they could come out together. I wouldn't expect it, though. I am not a fan of the Reliant. Yeah, it's really looking forward to the Gurgen's Galactic Wolf, L21 Wolf, whatever they're calling it. So I thought I was going to be really into the RSI Meteor, but I'm not. I found it like twice. I'm much more of an enjoyer of the F8. What else do we have here? Reliant Flight is really stable. That makes sense. Only like fight I enjoy flying. I have the Tanner. I enjoy taking it out on ride occasionally. I don't like the look of the Reliance. I understand people like the sort of the B-Wing look from Star Wars. I believe the guy that designed them was inspired by Star Wars. I'm not a Reliant enjoyer. Yeah, feel free to chuck any questions at me. We'll have a bit of a chat. Everyone's doing fine. Do you foresee CIG linking with to build Star Citizen and Squadron 42 themed computers? I mean, so almost certainly there'll be some promotions with people. So I think they worked with Scan ? I saw at CitizenCon last year. I saw a Scan cargo box PC. I'm pretty sure citation needed. That they had worked in conjunction with together. So yeah, Star Citizen hardware, HOTAS, cases. Yeah, why not? On a scale of 9 to 10, how excited are you for the L21 Wolf? So, I mean, between 1 and 10, excitement-wise, probably a 7.5. Sort of, it's I like new ships and like fighters do kind of interest me. I'm not 100% sure whether I'll buy one or not. I do like to get stuff in game where possible. I like the look of it, but I want to mess around with it. As I said, it's gonna really have to be something special to take me away from the F8. I mean, anything a light fighter can do, I can do in the F8 with more mistakes. I might be slower. I say anything. That's obviously can't interdict in the same way. I can't chase. Can't be an interceptor in the same sort of way. That's what I mean. But I like brawlers. I like being in combat and going, I can make a load of mistakes. I can take a load more punishment. I'm not a particularly skilled pilot. Somebody else, if you need any help that I can actually help with, please let me know, buddy. You're a staple in my community and have helped me out loads, so let me know. If there's anything I can actually do, I will try to help. I believe I would be willing to buy a pre-built Star Citizen themed PC, even if the price was a bit high. Okay. And I mean, if it was really cool looking, I'm more interested in the case than anything else. I never trust the hardware recommendations of sort of people that are trying to sell me anything. So that shouldn't be true if you listen to me. If you listen to me, then obviously it's accurate. Oh, volume a bit. One will be able to buy single slices of pizza in the persistent universe. Will they include pineapple? I hope they include like space pineapple. It'll be like the little bugs, right? Horseshoe on pizza? You're almost certainly going to be able to get a huge range of foods, including single slices of pizza. Will Kruger add a medium and heavy fighter, assumedly, to that lineup? I'd be interested in a center line big cannon with Kruger's maneuvering and style. Almost certainly in the future, right? Is Star Citizen will expand out for like another 15 years or more, and almost certainly within that time they will have those sort of things. I'm not sure if there's any plans in the short or mid-term to expand Kruger's range beyond that light fighter, but we'll see. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much. And yeah, sorry for people that are like, "What? I didn't know you streamed," or "What? Or, why no announcement?" I just wanted to. I fit in some streaming quick. Oh, so I tell you one of my problems. I got my garden done. It was quite expensive and sort of low maintenance. I was like, I'll buy some nice little Japanese maples. They're pretty much dead already. Maples. The summer was too hot for them and too dry for them. I tried to look after them. Normally, I'm pretty good with plants. And I was all like a couple of £100 worth of plants just gone. The big shame. I appreciate all the love. Thank you. I'm hoping to go because there's CitizenCon watch parties. I'm hoping to go to the one in the UK, the National Space Centre. Talk more about that later. Get a bit of promotion for them, like not official promotion, my own promotion, because I'll probably be going, and one that's relevant to me. And my friends, may be involved in setting up. It'll be good. Be good. Yeah, I'm glad people like the look of the Kruger ships. I think that they're a cool manufacturer for sure. And therefore, though, I'm going to be buying one. Also, I have no real idea on the price. Somewhere between $60 and $80, I would expect. But I mean, they could. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Star Citizen's pricing is a genuine mystery. Sometimes. What else are we good? Yeah, I'm sort of kind of excited for when we see hacking and crafting. And even if they're just very basic features, you know that they're working on them. I do expect the crafting to be really basic at the initial release of it. Would it be cool if CIG did live segments of Bar Citizen watch parties, train citizen? I think a lot of it's effectively going to be pre-recorded, if not all of it. I'm not. Is it a pre-recorded live stream, or is it partial pre-recorded live stream? CitizenCon 2025. Let's have a quick read. So, teams hard at work on our upcoming major milestones and energy is high as we push forward. Squadron 42 is progressing well as we work towards next year's release. So, yeah, still 2026 release. Squadron 42, great. Probably advertising campaign, like proper one. Starting CitizenCon, my expectation. 11th of October is a digital CitizenCon. CitizenCon Direct is what we call it. CitizenCon Direct will be live streamed on Twitch and YouTube, and the replay will be uploaded to immediately after the stream concludes. Okay. So, this year's showcase will be shorter than a traditional physical or digital CitizenCon. Shorter than a traditional physical or digital. Okay. Densely packed, exciting content and reveals. Won't be a traditional in-person on the 2025. We're going to introduce CitizenCon Direct, special digital showcase. Brings the excitement straight to you. This year's format helps us keep momentum going. Oh, there's someone at the door.
Someone's at the looks good.
Don't worry about that. The wizard's curtain is back up. That's not a euphemism. So where were we? Blah, 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 blah. Well, there won't be a traditional in-person CitizenCon in 2025. We're thrilled to introduce CitizenCon Direct, a special showcase that brings the excitement straight to you. This year's format helps us keep the momentum going while still giving the community something really special to look forward to. So I suspect that most of it, if not all, either most or all of it, will be pre-recorded, and there might be a bit of a live stream thing that's connecting it together with like disco, whatever. Sort of talking, and so I suppose they could, right? As part of that, they could jump over to some watch parties that are happening around the world, because there's a good amount of them are going to have CIG attendance. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I like the fact it's going to be dense as well. So whether or not I attend a watch party, and I'm going to try, I'll be able to get some concise content on that and done much quicker than if it was over a 2-day slog of a CitizenCon. And they're amazing to go to, for sure, but they're exhausting. And sometimes I think quite at them. Although not so much anymore. I've sort of decided to treat when I go to Bar Citizens and CitizenCons and things like that as if I'm driving, even though I don't drive in real life. So don't drive in not real life either, unless it's like a video game. You know what I mean. But I can't. I just alcohol has a detrimental effect on me. It just sort of lobotomizes me. Not great. Yeah. Okay. Super excited for CitizenCon. I'm actually cool with a couple of hour show. Bam, show us some cool stuff. Have it really compressed. That's why I feel like it's going to be 2-3 hours, right? That feels like to me. Feels over reels, and hopefully they'll have some cool stuff. Announcements for Squadron, advertising campaign start for Squadron. They've mentioned that they might start turning up more officially. It was implied anyway from Sandy's interview at Quantum Vegas. Might start turning up at things like Summer Games, whatever, and Jeff Keighley's, whatever it's called now, the thing that replaced D3, pretty much. Things like that, they might start advertising the Squadron, I think. Super excited. 2026, Squadron 42 release. I have no idea when in 2026. Assume the latter half of the year, my expectation. Yeah, I mean, I've sort of decided that. I mean, I'm bipolar and I'm pretty anxious, and that's not a great combination with alcohol and situations that I find stressful, because I will drink a little bit and feel better, and then I won't stop. I don't want to get annihilated around CIG and other fans of the game. It's just stupid. I don't want to be nice and safe and chill. Drink a lot when I was younger. No more. No. Pretty much no more public drinking is what I've decided. And privately, I like half a bottle of wine in the evening on a special occasion. That's my limit now. No more fun. I'm not allowed to have any more fun. Do you think snubs and small ground vehicles will be able to be brought up in freight elevators like the ATLS? I expect that is the plan, yes. I think that's what they said, in fact. So that definitely was the original plan. I think they, again, reiterated that more recently. There's a train device inside of the Onyx facility, and I've been wondering if it's a prototype for the Kraken cargo train. Okay. 50 in a few months. Too old for parties like that. Well, indeed. I feel too old for them now. So yeah, I think that maybe they will do. Now I'm thinking about it, they will do very brief live segments at some of the bar citizens, some of the CitizenCon watch parties. It sort of makes sense, right? Even if it's just like a 30 seconds at each of them going "Way!" with the crowd, because they have community team members, studios around the world. I do these different events around the world. Yeah, probably, maybe. I like the idea. What else do we have? Hello. Yeah, the more CIG includes the community, the better in that respect. So this year, I think they want to have basically them showing off a load of stuff to not just the Star Citizen community, but the gaming community at large in a much more concise format, so they can go, look how far our game's come. This is a release date. You can buy Squadron 42 now. So this is my expectation other than confirmation. Star Citizen 1.0 is going to be coming at some point afterwards. You can play Star Citizen now. You'll be able to play Squadron 42 here. Pre-order Squadron 42. Buy Star Citizen. Trying to make Star Citizen a lot more mainstream. And if they have that much more concise format that's for with lots of wow moments, lots of oh my god, this is cool, oh this is really good, much more concise, less fluff, more this is what you can do now. This is what we're working on. Bam! Look at the cool stuff. Yeah, and a lot of pre-recorded stuff. I think they'll do really well. Like, that's my expectation of CitizenCon this year, and I think it will work for them, like, genuinely. Like, they are working up to a massive intergalactic aerospace expo, especially if they are selling the Perseus and the Apollo. If they are flyable, well, they're going to be selling them. But if they are flyable then, and then they have a few other ships and vehicles, and maybe a surprise, maybe if they sell the Javelin as well, or maybe they could save that till Fleet Week next year, something like that. I'm just saying these things are possible, right? Yeah, I think this year funding for Star Citizen is going to be ridiculous, and potentially smash past 125 mil sort of thing. I absolutely love going to Bar Citizens. Absolutely love it. I unfortunately when I haven't really talked about this. I had when I went to the Manchester one, I had a panic attack and I had to leave, and I was a little bit drunk at the same time, and that did not go well. For me, like, I was very, very stressed for a very short period of time. I sort of don't want to put myself in a position where because when I'm panicked, I don't think straight, and because I was drinking, I wasn't thinking straight. So I'm sort of just a panicked deer in the headlights, just going, "Oh, what do I do?" Um, it's really weird because I'm pretty confident in all the stuff I do. Always be able to make decisions. Sometimes, if I'm panicked, I'm literally unable to operate. I cannot make a decision. It's weird. It's just weird. My I'm all my sort of stuff's very manageable and don't really suffer too badly. Um, Stuff I can do to manage that is not drink. You'd have to do an anxiety attack. See, Sammy, I share your pain on that. And sometimes I'm fine. Sometimes I'm more than fine. I'm like, I absolutely love being around people. And other times, just nope. Weird. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you. I really do hope they have live segments at the watch parties. Yeah, I think it's quite possible, right? But really looking forward to 4.3. Like, I had some bad experiences with 4.3, which is weird because normally I have great experiences with patches, and other people are like, no, they're broken, they're awful. I'm like, I haven't experienced those bugs that they're having at all, like stability problems, things like that. This time around, when people are like, oh no, really, really good, 4.3, Onyx specific was really good. Loads of problems with PvP, falling through the floor, getting locked into areas. Yeah, Zin ramming planets. Just lots of weird problems. Weird ones, but lots of issues that have... my enjoyment of the PTU has not been the best for 4.3, but really looking forward to it when those problems are solved, or there's a bit more refinement, or just jumping into Star Citizen again and doing it more, because we'll probably be playing tomorrow and Wednesday and messing around. Sometimes Star Citizen just beats you with a stick and goes, nope, you're not going to have fun today. That's the reason it's an alpha still, right? It's not because it's an alpha, although that's true as well, but it's the reason it's an alpha still, because sometimes it does go, like Star Citizen, do you, lad? Not, I don't think I've crashed the desktop. I mean, there was a constant fear when I was boosting or space braking and flying around, that I was going to crash the desktop. Because every time I like boost or whatever, I was like, oh, it causes crashes. I'm fine. Oh, whoops, oh, I'm fine. Most of my issues have come from the player density and areas just all being sent, seem to be sent to the same or similar of the Onyx facilities, and too many NPCs constantly spawning there, causing problems and falling through the floors and stuff. A tier 0 item recovery has at least made it less painful. That's true. I think what I wanted at those facilities was the ability to respawn there. There are medical facilities there, and it feels like you could respawn there. It feels like they haven't enabled it for some reason. Maybe it be something they enable in the future, certain ones, or for certain missions. Hello, hey. Yeah, I think solid release of Squadron 42 is going to just catapult Star Citizen into this mainstream beast, or near some, much closer to mainstream, or more mainstream, I should say. I think a load of people will be playing it a load more regularly because it'll be popular. A lot of games get their sort of 5 minutes of fame, but I think it'll be popular for a bit during and after Squadron 42, and then you'll have a lot more content creators getting into it more regularly, and then you'll get large content creators and multi sort of game content creators jumping back in and out of Star Citizen regularly and doing videos on it. Oh, yes, so that's a good point. When Discord streaming, you had lots of crashes to desktop. Okay, maybe it doesn't interact well with other things because obviously they've changed the cheat protection, or they've upped the heartbeat. That could be one of the reasons that people are crashing to desktop, potentially. But you should be able to still grab Freelancer somewhere. It's pretty old now. 15 years old or more? Probably significantly older than that, thinking about. March 2003. So 22 years ago. Okay. A little older than I thought. Like a decade. Still on good old games. Love you, Sparrow. Take care, buddy. Yeah, a lot older than I thought. Oh, Free Space 2. One of my favourite games of all time. Oh, such a good game. Such a good game. Sheevan in that? Even the bad guys? Expect they disabled respawn at Onyx facilities to reduce the amount of PvP. So, what I want, I'll tell you what I want at the Onyx facilities. I want the ability to respawn there, and I want there to be, if you commit PvP, you get booted out, you can't respawn there, and you literally get displaced, put straight into prison or something, or moved out as if you are on a ship, something like that, right? As if you're trespassing on a ship, something like that. I would like the ability to respawn at those facilities. You don't want to make them too zergy, though. Yeah, genuinely great game. Great gameplay, great game. I don't want to play it again. I've been playing recently. I've been playing Hell Clock. Second act has slowed me down significantly. He's Coming, I was playing a load of. We were enjoying that. Sort of moderately hard sort of loot selection boss battler sort of game. And then there's asymmetrical PvP in that, which is quite fun. Just about to finish Lens Island. We need to jump into something else. Don't want to play like Grounded 2 or anything. I like my co-op rival games, but I want them to be complete. Loved Grounded. Really loved Grounded. Be a big Rust player as well. I'm going to go pretty soon. Could be in-law tech that makes a person's print transfer to jail. And there's a reason for it. Yeah, okay. It could be when you imprint this machine, you also understand that this machine will share your data with the authorities. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can just have it as part of the warning. Using this imprint machine will go in prison if you... Yeah, that's something, I don't know. There's loads of stuff they could do, right? But we'll see what CIG do. Hopefully they'll make 4.3 really good fun, and those Onyx facilities really PvE and fun. I don't want just PvE content in Star Citizen. I want PvP content. I want a mixture of the two. I just want them to be more segmented in areas. People want to go just do their PvE content in certain areas. They can travel there. They might get PvP'd on the way there. If they want to go into certain other areas to get other loot and stuff, they might risk PvP. I do want there to be areas that are pretty much just like, no. That's just my sort of views on that. They don't have to be yours. You can disagree. Will everyone be able to try the new 4.3? Well, it's 4.3 is available to all backers now on the PTU. You have to have a game package though, so if you can play the live builds, you can play the PTU build now, right? It will going out to everyone later in August to live. So yeah, I'm hoping they do some updates to those Onyx facilities for sure. You want to do law writing for CIG? Why not apply? Why not apply? I suspect there's jobs somewhere. They have less remote work, but they don't have no remote work. I just want to shoot players when I want to shoot players. I want to shoot pixels and do co-op stuff when I want to do that. I like to know what I'm getting myself into to a degree. And I want to know the level of risk. And I want to be able to go, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And maybe I don't get the best loot because I'm cutting out PvP, but I'm going to be doing something that I want to do. And I just want all these different mechanics and types of gameplay to support each other. I think they will. Now, the devs mentioned why the game is still so laggy and NPCs are not responsive despite the ever meshing tech coming online. So, server meshing tech it's not a golden bullet. They're working towards dynamic server meshing. They are optimizing and improving game code. NPCs are often, especially after a new patch, sort of desyncy, rubber bandy, whatever. Sometimes they are in a good state, sometimes they're bad, sometimes servers degrade. One of the reasons it's still in alpha, sure. It's one of the things they are actively working on, and one of the most important things they get right. I certainly don't mind sandbox areas with PvE like EAFs. Have been fun, but yeah, with the Onyx facilities being hard locked, PvE would be nice. Yeah. A kind of a funny PvP interaction the other day was bringing the raft in to try and fight the elevators, and somebody in the Pisces attacked me, so I got a kill in a raft. Well, indeed. I really like the Raft. I think the Raft's absolutely fantastic ship, especially after they updated it. So it's a upside down flatbed truck. Like, that is super useful. I think it will win the Ship Showdown this year as well. Yeah. I think like the Vulture would do really well, the Raft would do really well. And folks will never try Star Citizen because of the risk of PvP. So Zin's doesn't really like PvP. She'll play like she likes PvP in Arena Commander because it's a different sort of thing. I'm pro PvP, PvE, and the mixture of the two in lots of areas, just not in all areas. I just want to be able to go, bam, doing this gameplay is just PvE stuff. Doing this, which is just PvP stuff. We're doing this as a mixture of the two. We're doing this as industrial, and yeah. I don't like to shoot first and ask questions later. I like to, if possible, not be. I want to make friends as I play around, right? I feel a lot of people will shoot first and ask questions later, potentially because that's what's happened to them earlier in the day. Someone else has done that to them because they're panicked. And it's just this chain of people panicked and go, I need to shoot this person before they shoot me. I understand that. What do you think of the competence of CIG development? Some content they release that was announced a very long time ago and gets finally released. I'm wondering, is your result not talking about stuff that is very complex and done before? So a bit confused by the granular, by the minutiae of the question you're asking, I'd say. So CIG have gone through lots of different phases and reworks, and they've gone from little ma and pa, tiny little studio almost, right, to like something very indie to something massively corporate. They've had major issues in between that and huge slowdowns and re-gearings towards different things, and that has slowed the development hugely. And it depends on how you define competence. Like, if you are like, well, you deliver on your Kickstarter, then incompetent. Because they have redefined the scope and changed what they've done multiple times. If you're saying, I'll be able to run a live game and generate money, competent, because that's what they're doing, and they're making more and more money every year, and they're getting more and more players every year. Now, we can't judge whether or not what they're doing is great or terrible until we have released products in our hands, right? If Star Citizen never releases to 1.0 and is always broken, or releases and it's terrible because it's broken or whatever, it's super buggy, yeah, you can go, yeah, that development was a failure, and, well, people that trusted them, you were fools. But maybe I'm a fool, but I do trust CIG to make a great game. I'm not always on board with all the decisions they make, for sure. I do think they've got a very unique development, and that's allowed them to keep on switching between agile and sort of waterfall kind of developments, and there's certainly been issues with that and reprioritizations of stuff. And it's just a weird thing. Not having a publisher, having pretty much infinite time and infinite money. That's not the case, but just huge amounts of time and huge amounts of money has allowed them to keep on changing their minds with stuff. And sometimes that's been a good decision, or sometimes that's been a bad decision. So I do think that because we see the sausage get made, and it's pretty open development, even now when they're the least open they've ever been, but still pretty open, you see a lot of stuff that you wouldn't see with any other game's creation and development, right? It's an interesting one. But they have been able to run a live product while generating money, while working on 2 games, and do that pretty successfully. They're doing something that's never been done before. But to your question, what do I think of the competence of the development? There's a lot of stuff that I would have done differently, and I think CIG would have done differently. They were learning as they went. Some of the decisions they made were bad ones. A lot of the decisions they made were good ones. A lot of good and a lot of bad. And we're here, and I think we're on the precipice of a genuinely great product with Squadron 42. That's C, 2026. And if they can prove they can release a game, good. It's a 9 or 9.5 out of 10, then they're probably going to be able to get Star Citizen in great shape as well. The thing is that Star Citizen just needs time now, because if they go, oh, it's buggy or server meshing doesn't work or whatever, NPCs are broken, they'll get that fixed eventually, but it might be another 3 years. A lot of people are happy to wait because there are obviously got a live product you can play now while you're waiting, and you sort of play along with that development. It's a super interesting, unique project, right? And I love it for it. But also, it's frustrating and not what other people want. They're not interested in it. I think if you told a lot of people originally with Kickstarter or back in the day 10 years ago, oh, it's going to be, in 10 years, it's still not going to be released, they'd have gone, nah. Or if they were, oh no, if they had gone, yeah, it's in about 10 years, we'll be close to Squadron 42's release, and then a couple more years after that, we might release Star Citizen 1.0. Would people still be on board? I mean, some people would, if you told them that it was going to be playable throughout. And if it was ready before then, cool. But a lot of people would be like, nope. It's an interesting one. Single word, innovative. I mean, yeah. I mean, aspirational. I mean, they've done great. Like, Chris is still super passionate about it, and super excited, and loves the fact that literally they've been able to make the game of his dreams, and the community largely is going along with that and participating with that. And I do think they're creating something great. But we'll have to wait and see, right? Been very impressed by what CIG has accomplished. My biggest concern is whether they are ready to do the things that will be necessary to bring in a larger casual community. So get the casual gamers and make it more mainstream. You just need to release Squadron 42, and it needs to be good. Because then they go, look, we're able to make the game, and that's one of the reasons they're trying to make Star Citizen the year of playability. Trying to make it, trying to bring it out something that's alpha and more into something that's early accessy, right? That's the way it feels to me. That's the way it looks to me. They're trying to this year. They're trying to, before Squadron 42 releases, get Star Citizen as playable as possible. Potentially for that reason. But if they release a good Squadron 42, that's going to make a lot of people go, yeah, I'll buy Star Citizen. Yeah, a lot of people are happy to wait. Some people aren't. Some people have spent thousands of dollars in Star Citizen and their life's changed. And now they want actually to refund some of that or whatever. Do you think tutorials in Arena Commander would be useful? For example, mining and salvage? Yeah, I mean... So what I want is I want all of that in-game. I want the ability to do those missions with rented ships or ships that are given to you for intro missions. Go, bam, yeah, there's an intro mission for this, or you make a lot less money because we're lending you a ship. But all of that should be dealt in the persistent universe, and you learn those crafts and those roles, even if you don't have much of an interest in them. You can still see if it's for you without having to invest in a ship. And to learn whether or not you want to go into that mechanic in more depth. Nah. I'll just do combat, or I'll just do mining. Not sure what ship you saw in the B-roll. But the stuff that's being shown now is from 4.2. I'm going to check to see if there's any more quick questions I can answer. I liked the conversation we had today on Squadron and Star Citizen and its development. Right, I'm going to dash. I'm going to have a little snack. And then I'm going to get the podcast out that I did with Zin. Then I need to do some chores. My house is so hot. CIG should consider eventually allowing us to mod our Arena Commander experience. So, originally they had said that modding in private servers would be a thing in Star Citizen. We'll have to see if that will eventually be a thing. It's not going to be a thing for 1.0. But yeah, I think 1.0 for me is super exciting for no more resets. There's still another 10 years plus of development for Star Citizen to go on beyond that, for adding new stuff. How will that be handled, I assume, with... Because they need to make sure there's no major bugs when pushing something from that's new to the live servers, right? Yeah, thank you very much. It was a great session, I thought, as well. Loads of love to everyone that was watching. Much appreciated. Feel free to support the channel with links below, watching my videos, donations, whatever. Links to any of my sponsors or, you know, NordVPNs and things like that. Let me... on my Twitch. Find someone else that is streaming and just send you there. I'm going to send you my beautiful boy, Space Tamala Gaming. He is a beautiful boy. And I just do a podcast with him recently, and just I don't know what happens. Super busy. Alpha 4.3 isn't out. It's in all waves PTU, which means it's available for anyone that's got a game package to try now. It should be going to live by the end of this month. Probably in a couple of weeks. It's available on the PTU now. That's the testing branch, basically. And the engineering might be pretty soon as well on the tech preview branch. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Genuinely appreciate it. Love you all loads.